Our clinic provides the Salina community with a comprehensive spectrum of services delivered with compassion and sensitivity. We strive to create a partnership with our patients that promotes health and well-being in all phases of life. We care about our patients, we care about providing quality health care services, and we care about our community. Chances are you know many of us because Maori Clinic physicians live in Salina. We are coaches for youth sports teams and leaders for Boy Scouts and 4-H. We offer time, talent, and financial support to a variety of community events and charities. Our children attend school with your children. Our families attend worship services with your families. And we are proud to call Salina home. We have a vested interest in the success of this community, and we remain committed to an independent practice model that promotes our proud heritage and philosophy to provide quality medical care centered on the relationship between each patient and the physician of their choice. You have a choice for your medical care. Choose a doctor dedicated to the pursuit of excellence in healthcare services. Choose Maori Clinic.
My wife hears a big thump in the living room, and then they rushed me to the hospital. The doctor and the chaplain looked at my family and said, "We have a very sick man. He only has 5% chance of survival." I had a fibrillator/pacemaker put in, and the second time I went into surgery, they actually did 4 bypasses. The team at Salina Regional Health Center, it's amazing what they can do. Couldn't ask for anything better. I think it's a whole new perspective I have on life, thanks to Salina Regional. And it's ongoing. It's not going to stop next week. It's going to happen for the rest of my life. I hope to live another 20 years. But I can't live without those guys. I mean, they're watching my back. I don't know why I'm still here. You know, obviously the Lord has more things for me to accomplish. I mean, it's just good to be alive. Good to be alive.
The friendly staff at Salina Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Clinic, located at 523 South Santa Fe, are always welcoming new patients to serve in the areas of sports medicine, total joint care, and more. You can contact the office at 785-823-7213 or toll free at 1-866-406-4141.
Welcome to Salina Access TV, Friday Night Football, week number 8. We have the visiting Hayes Indians in, being hosted by Salina South Cougars. This is second game of district, which both teams won handily. South won quite well last week. And if I remember, the score of Hayes was 47-14 over Great Bend. And Great Bend's actually a good team, but they had some turnover problems out there. This is going to be could be one of two things, because both offenses put up scores. But, and I say that this could be a shootout of a high-scoring game by both teams. But Hayes is undersized in comparison to South. And when I talked to Coach Cornelson before the game, that was his major concern. He goes, how do we match up with South sides? He goes, on both sides of the ball. I said, well, what do you want to do offensively? He goes, offensively, he said, we know we have to contain their front four, because he said they get penetration and they can cause problems. He goes, I'm really concerned about their size. I said, but then you got to be concerned about their size on defense. He said, very much so. He said, we know if they take away Weigel, the running back, and this kid is a spark plug with arms and legs. He's I believe a 3-time state champion wrestler. And I've been to the state championship 3 times. This kid is tough. He's kind of like Ben Haney was. If you remember Ben Haney when he was at Hutch about 5-6 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. He's now playing middle linebacker for the Kansas Jayhawks. This kid is a north-south runner. He's not going to try to juke you. He's going to try to run you over. He's going to try to hurt you. But if you take him away, then you got to deal with the quarterback. This quarterback, Delk, he's already received scholarship offers, and I believe one of them is from K-State. I found out about him last summer when I followed K-State, and I got an email about they had offered a high school quarterback in Kansas, and I said, well, who's this? And it turned out to be Delk. This kid can throw the ball. Not only that, he runs 100 meters in 11 flat. Folks, in high school, that's fast. Now, we know what speed is because Justin Stonebreaker's fast, and he can throw the throw the football. What they don't have is they don't have a Mike Jones, and that's the thing that Coach Cornelson told me they got to concentrate on, is keeping Mike Jones between the numbers. We can't let him get outside. If he gets outside, he's gone. Well, that's true. But anyone who's watched South play over the past year or so know that if he gets between the tackles and he gets a gap, he's gone there too. But he is one of those, if he gets to the corner, it's going to be a foot race, and there's not too many people on that team that's going to be able to catch him. Both teams come in 100%. Hoover and Hilt are both back. Both been out for a couple games, and both of them are back. That is big because Hoover is one of the big defenders on South's defense. So this is really going to be a game where there's going to be no excuses because so-and-so wasn't playing. So this should be a very good game. But if Hayes, I say this, if Hayes cannot contain South's weight advantage on offensive defensive line, this could be a very big win for South. I will see you at the start of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Game captains for tonight's contest for the Hayes High Indians. Number 5, Alex Delton. Number 33, Preston Weigel. Number 44, Ty Whittington. And number 76, Kenny Runkles. For the Salina South Cougars, number 12, Justin Stonebreaker. Number 19, Zach Nachbar. Number 22, Cade Calvert. And number 50, Cole Smith.
3.
South has won the toss. They will receive on the north end.
welcome to Salina Access Friday Night TV on Friday Night Football with week number 8. As I shared with the crowd at the pregame show, this is week number 8, which is off the second game of district play, and we have two very potent offenses. Now, South's defense, I would say, is decidedly a little better than Hayes. Hayes' defense is going to be somewhat similar to Central's. They're not going to be as big as South, but they're going to be a fast defense that will try to fly to the football. But as I shared in the pregame show, Coach Cornelson is really concerned about the size of South's offensive line and defensive line. And he said the problem is they're just not big. They're big and they can run the ball. Plus, South gets Mr. Hoover back, and Mr. Hoover's been gone.
Out to kick off for the Hayes High Indians, number 89, Lane Clark.
Cole Hoover, 33, he's linebacker.
Back deep for the Cougars.
And
number 28, Mike Jones. And number 19, Zach Nockbar.
Now, because also Hilt, the wide receiver, is back. South is one and will receive the ball. Nice high kick. Then that's going to be an automatic touchback because one foot was in the end zone, one foot was out of the end zone. Coach
It's a touchback on the kickoff.
On defense, which they get to start with, start the game.
Will be Salina South football, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
They want to keep Mike Jones between the numbers. And if you see the field, in other words, they want to keep him inside. Easier said than done. But Mike
at quarterback for the Cougars, inside. Number 12, Justin Stonebreaker.
That trap play working for South, and there's going to be problems. Nice fake by Justin. He came out on this option with the man in motion, Zach Nockbar, being a lead
number 12,
blocker.
Justin Stonebreaker on the quarterback keeper.
And
tackled by number 76 of the Indians,
so far
Kenny
this way
Runkles.
To try to contain Mike Jones. That if he
it's a gain of 3 on the play,
tackle,
2nd down, 7.
There was nobody on the backside, and he would have had a nice long game. Again, you haven't really seen everything in both teams' playbook yet. You're always keeping something towards the end of the year and in the playoffs. Okay, there's that double lead. And if he hadn't ran into his own man, Justin would have got a lot further down the field. He faked it to the fullback.
Number 12, Justin Stonebreaker, again the Cougar ball carrier. Brought down initially by number 4.
And Mike Jones up
Hayden
into the
Krutzer.
Into the hole, using it as almost like a double lead, where you use that. I think they call it the. I think you call it 2-pro, where they have a fullback and a guy lined up beside the fullback, and then the tailback.
Gain of 3 on the play, 3rd down, 4.
And here's that lead to Mike Jones. And he's actually going to use about a yard and a half maybe. Sal didn't throw the ball once in that 3 series.
Number 28, Mike Jones, the Cougar ball carrier.
Sellers really want to
He
start
is tackled for a loss by number 11.
He's concerned about the speed of
Brendan Abayara.
The quarterback for Hayes.
It's a loss of 1 on the play,
Mr.
4th down and 5 for Salina
Alex
South.
Delton, he's a 6 foot, 188-pound junior.
Out to punt for the Cougars, number 82.
But this will be the first
Jacob
game.
Foster.
Let me say let the snap go, then I'll share this with you. There's the punt. He's going to let it bounce and roll. It's going to roll over down inside the 44. Close about the 43.
Jacob Foster's punt is good for 32 yards.
I'm going to say 32 yards about right, 32-yard punt.
The Hayes Indians will take over, 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line.
He's received several offers of Division I offers to play fullback, play quarterback, but he also runs 11 flat 100 meters. That's fast, folks. That's like Justin Stonebreaker, Mike Jones fast. And they're going to hand off to that the running back I told you about. He's not a fast guy. Preston Weigel, number 33.
The Hayes ball carrier is number 33, Preston Weigel.
This kid, I said, is a state champion.
Forced out of bounds
wrestler.
by the Cougars, number 24, Avery Mitchell. It's a gain of 2 on the play. Second down 8.
He's as tough as nails kid. And they said he's the kind of kid, if you asked him to run through a brick wall, he would literally try to run through a brick wall for you. You love that kind of mentality. Now he's under center. He's back to throw. He's being chased. And it's way overthrown. But the wide receiver and the defensive back both stopped.
Pass attempted by number 5 for Hayes. Alex Delton falls incomplete.
With a torn groin. They said he was black from the crotch to the knee.
Coverage on the play for the Cougars, number 32, Aaron Marr.
Still play, takes it up the plate. And then
third down 8 for Hayes.
So now he's wearing a brace, and then they'll have surgery at the end of the year just to clean it up. They don't know for sure whether they're going to repair it or just clean it up and remove it. It's a keeper around the right side, and he's going to be short and force them into a long and into a punting situation.
Number 5, Alex Delton, is the Indian ball
Alex
carrier.
Is not going to beat as fast as he normally is.
He is upended by number 52, Garrett Mortimer of the Cougars.
But even injured, he's
a gain of 2 on the play, brings up fourth down 6 for Hayes.
Basis. But he's a kid with an arm. I mean,
out in punt formation for the Indians, number 21, Kiowa Higdon.
6 foot, 188 pounds. You could get a good 20, 25 pounds or more on him in muscle and really thicken him up. High punt, not a deep punt. Zach's going to return it, and he's going to be, I don't think he maybe got to the 19. They're going to mark him short of the 20, right at the 20, looks like.
Higdon's punt is good for 34 yards. A return of minus 2 yards by number 19, Zach Nachbar of the Cougars.
Nothing like last week.
Will be Salina South football, 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line.
But it's dry, so in the track vernacular, it makes for a fast track. This where speed should really, really be the benefit from this. Okay. All right, that's a handoff to Ryan Fox. He's going to get a yard, it looks like. Oh, they marked them all the way back to the
number 32
to the 17. They're going to mark no gain.
Check that, number 25, Ryan Fox, the Cougar ball carrier. He is tackled for a short gain by number 44,
Let
Ty
you guys know
Whittington
something.
of
If you
the
didn't read
Indians.
the newspaper last
Second
week
down,
when
9.
Mike Jones scored that 71-yard run, he did it with one shoe. All right, there's a keeper. There's the split. I think South fell on it. He's got a first
number
down.
12, Justin
He's
Stonebreaker,
got to look.
the
He's got to
Cougar
be
ball
able
carrier.
to make sure that he maintains that ball tucked up high and tight.
There was a fumble on the play.
There was a fumble, but
is
South
recovered by the
recovered.
Cougars.
That he's got to keep that ball tucked up and tight. And when you feel
Stonebreaker's
pressure
run
coming
is in
on,
that
you take your
gain
free
of
arm and
15
form like an
yards.
X over it.
Good enough for a Cougar first down.
And the only way they're going to knock the ball out of your hands in that formation, what they call, I guess they call it the X formation, is someone just puts a helmet on it, and that just takes a really clean, hard shot. You got a first down up to the 33. At the gain of 15 yards, he's going to look to throw it. He'll throw it underneath to Walker Vinson. He's going to step out. Looks like about the 38.
Stonebreaker's pass is completed to number 17, Walker Vincent of the Cougars. Knocked out of bounds by number 4, Hayden Kreitzer.
As I said in the
There's a gain of
pregame
5 on
show,
the
really
play,
this could
brings
be a
up
game
second
where
down
both
5
teams
for
will
the
score a lot,
Cougars.
or if South's size on both the offensive line takes over, especially on offensive line, this could become a one-sided game. There's a handoff to Ryan Fox. Again, it's going to carry up over the 40. He's going to be just about 2 yards short of
Number
the
25,
first.
Ryan Fox, the Cougar
Long
ball
two,
carrier.
it looks like. because they don't have to get to
Upended on the play by number 66.
the first down
Keith
marker is
Haverfield.
shy of the 43. So it's a little over 2.5 yards for a first.
It's a gain of 3 on the play, 3rd down 2.
There's a quick throw out to Zach Nakbar, makes the first man miss, and he got knocked out of bounds. If not, he would have scored. And that's the one thing that you see with Zach Nakbar and the other wide receivers in Southampton. They can make that first
Justin
man miss,
Stonebreaker's
and when you
pass
do that,
completed to number
it's
19,
tremendous.
Zach Nakbar.
It's a tremendous weapon, because that's where you got to make sure you have someone there. And I asked Coach Cornelson when they were going to play 2-man deep. He said, "No, I'm going to play 1-man deep. I'm going to bring 1 man in the box." I said, "Well, then will you roll your safety to Zach's side of the field?" He said, "No. We're just hoping we can man up." All right, there's the keeper to the left with Justin Stonebreaker. And it's going to be down inside the 40.
Number 12, Justin Stonebreaker on the quarterback option. Drugged down
That's
by
the problem
number
when
33,
you
Preston
try to
Weigel of
take
the Indians.
like Mike Jones
It's a gain
out of
6
the
on
picture.
play. 3rd down.
That's
Check that,
fine.
2nd down
But the problem
for
is you got
43.
Justin Stonebreaker who can run it and can throw it, and then you got Zach Nakbar out there. You got Mr. Haynes or Mr. Marcotte, the other 2 wide receivers. You got Walker Vincent, the tight end. That's a Ryan Fox carry. It's going to be inside the 35. It's going to be close to a first down.
Number 25, Ryan Fox, the Cougar ball carrier. Drugged down by number 42,
First down.
Connor Rule.
That
It's a
is
gain of 4 on the play and good for a Cougar.
the referee's
first down.
decision. Now, if the umpire and the sideline judge and the head linesman see it's enough, they will motion to the referee, and he'll go signal back there. He won't run up. But if it's close, that is the referee's decision whether he wants to stop the clock or bring out the chains. There's a delayed handoff to Mike Jones, and he's got the speed and the corner. And he's going to be down inside the 25, and that's
Number
going to be
28,
enough, I
Mike
think, for a
Jones,
first
the
down.
Salina South ball carrier. He's brought down by number 12,
This
Clayton.
is exactly what Coach
Rydell.
Cornelson did not want to happen, was letting Mike Jones and then Justin Stonebreaker get to the outside and use that speed. They want to keep them between the numbers, and the way you do that is you have to get penetration by your defensive end or your outside linebackers up the field to make him turn up and come inside and not take it all the way to the outside. And right now, that's not happening. South line is dominating. He's looking to throw the ball. He's got Zach open for a touchdown. As you know, he's already set the record. Every catch is going to be adding to that record.
Justin Stonebreaker connecting with number 19.
About a 24-yard touchdown pass.
A 24-yard touchdown.
He had the man beat. I was tempted to tell Coach Cornelson that the South coaches has find it very funny that no one really has doubled up Zach Nakbar all year long. And when this is what happens when you don't do that. Touchdown.
The
Kick is up and good. So with 6 minutes and 24 seconds left to go to the first period, you got to score. Salina South 7, Hayes 0.
Hayes 0.
I asked Coach Sells for the game, how far out can Kevin kick the ball? And he told me, he goes, I feel good about out to 30. 35 might be pushing a little bit. He doesn't have a real strong leg, but he has an accurate leg. I said, well then can Dalton Harmon, who's your kickoff guy, kick it from there? He said he could, but it'd be kind of hard to do. And I asked him like that. He goes, he's our long snapper, which I did not know that. I said, well, yeah, that would be kind of hard to do. Snap the ball, then run back and kick. He kind of laughed and goes, yeah, I'd like to see that myself. But they do have another kicker that they feel that if it had to come down to having to kick the ball, kick a long field goal attempt, let's say you got 3 or 4 seconds left in the game's tied, might as well go for it. They got one, but they're not really sure about his accuracy. And I totally forget the name. He told me who that was.
Out to kick off for Salina South, number 54, Dalton Harmon.
But Dalton's got a nice strong leg. I mean, if he had to, he could kick a long field goal attempt if we could have someone else long snap the ball. But he's so good at long snapping, and because of his size, he's a good blocker up front. Nice high kick and land. Well, you're going to be foaming around about the 15. And he's going to be forced out, looks like just past the 25-yard line.
Number 20, Jordan Betts, the Indian return man.
Now I'm told that this Weigel kid, even though he's a great football player, is already receiving offers because of his wrestling, and that's what he'll probably be doing at the next level is wrestling. But there's schools still trying to talk to him about football because he's such a hard-nosed runner. He'd make a great lead fullback for you. There you go. That's him right there. He's going to carry the ball up over the 30. That was a little bit off tackle track play to the right. Get my tongue untied. And that's a nice pickup on first down. Snap, and he gave it to him. He might got a yard. Again, they're attacking the right side or the left side of South defense with the right side of their offensive line.
Tackled by number 11 of the Cougars, John McNabb. It's a gain of 2 on the play.
Coach Salina said that they will substitute out defensive linemen and linebackers to keep guys fresh. It's a quarterback keeper around the end over there with Delton. I think he might be a little bit short of a first. Or you might have it.
Number 5, Alex Delton, the Hayes ball carrier, knocked out of bounds by number 24,
he does.
Avery Mitchell of the Cougars.
They're going to mark him down a first down.
3 yards on the play. First down.
Like I said, Mr. Delton is banged up. He's wearing the brace. He will have surgery at the end of the year to see how the meniscus, whether it can be repaired or just they'll just clean it up and take it completely out, which they do nowadays. There's a good penetration by South's defense.
Preston Weigel, the Indian ball carrier, tackled by number 50 in the backfield, Cole Smith.
Cole Smith.
So lots of 1 on the play, second down.
Been having a fantastic season. Oh, I will love to see Ethan Mitchell in here with this defense. Would have made the defense that much better. But it's been amazing about the number of kids who have stepped up and they just filled that gap. And it's what shows what a good team. There's a quick throw to the man coming out of the wide receiver who was in the wing formation.
Alex Delton's pass is completed.
It went out into the flat. Adam Kloss is a junior, 5'9", 149-pound running back. Like I said, it was in the set out in the wing. He just went out into the flat. We either have to have a linebacker or a safety that's going to have to watch for that. Here's just a quick hitter. And he's going to have enough down inside the 50.
Number 5. Alex Delton.
I see the South coaches talking to him. I thought when you don't need 3 yards for a first down, why are you giving an 8-yard cushion? That's where you got to be right at that first down marker. Just for that very reason right there.
And results in a first down for Hayes.
But I was going to say earlier that this, I think now the second game that they've been able to play everybody just one way, now that we got everyone back from injuries. He's being rushed. And he's going to get hit. He should have been stopped way back behind the line of scrimmage.
Alex Delton's pass is completed once again to number 89, Lane Clark.
I think it did set up for a screen, and that kind of got delayed.
They pick up 11 on the play, resulting in a first down.
And that's going to be a first down to the 36-yard line.
First down Indians at the Cougar 36-yard line.
South's got to get him off the field. Okay, he's going to run back. He was hit by two. Number 52. Garrett Mormorter. And I didn't see who the other person was. Couldn't catch a number. But there was two people who got him. And there was no gain on that play. Now you got second down and 10. And the kids have had these two Thursday, Friday off for parent-teacher conferences, so he's looking to throw the ball. Almost intercepted. The
Alex Delton's pass intended for number 4.
The safety, I think,
Kreitzer,
who's Cade Calvert, made a great read on that and almost had the interception.
Third down 10 for Hayes.
And they got third down and 10. You know, one thing, especially with this younger kids, you get in the same pattern of throwing this ball to the same person, the same play, and the defense knows that you can step in and do get it. A South kid moved, but I didn't see him rock forward much. That was enough.
Dead ball. Encroachment by the defense. 5-yard penalty.
I think that was Mr. Parker who did that, but I'm not sure. Cardinal rule, defensive line, you watch the ball, you don't listen to the sound of the snap count.
Third down 5.
Now you got third down 5 instead of third down 10. And he was rushed and had to throw the ball away. So now you got fourth down and 5. And Mr. Delton got put on his derriere there.
Incomplete. Brings up fourth down.
And Hayes substitutes, bringing in their, probably going to spread them.
Fourth down 5 for the Indians.
And this is where the defensive backs got to know where the first down marker is. No, they're not. They're coming in with the power. They still might throw the ball, and they are looking to throw the ball. And they threw it to the, looks like the tight end. Ty Whittington, he's the senior 6'3", 270-pound running back, but he lined up, not as a running back, he lined up as a tight end or the wing right just off the tight end. And it's that man coming out delayed out in the flat that South has not picked up now twice, and they've got a first down on both those plays. They've got to be able to pick that man up, whether that's a linebacker or a safety. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. And a couple of missed tackles there. You got to keep your heads up.
Alex Delton, number 5, the Hayes ball carrier.
I was always taught that you stay on his inside shoulder, that you keep your aim on the outside shoulder. And the reason why is you stay on the inside shoulder because you know eventually he's going to run into the sideline. That's the 12th defender. So you stay on his inside shoulder so in case he tries to stop and cut back, you are right there. And you're also taught to watch his belly because wherever the belly's got to go, the rest of the body has to follow. Don't watch his face, his eyes. And that's going to be a nice carry. Going to be down inside the 15. Again, they're attacking the left side of South's defense.
It's a gain of 6 on the play. Third down 3 for the Indians.
And if some of you, if that Cornelson name is familiar, his dad, Gary Cornelson, who's on his staff, was the head coach back at Liberal when they were a state power years back. There's good penetration by Cole Smith.
Number 1, Adam Klaus.
Excellent play by Cole. He's actually going to drop him back some.
He is tackled for no gain by number 50,
They're gonna say no gain, but
Cole Smith.
and to me, like he lost about half a yard. Yeah, the fourth down,
Fourth down,
the down marker guy did move back about half a foot. It's a long 3. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter with the score. Salina South 7, Hayes 0.
7, Hayes 0.
I was expecting a little more offense. South got the ball first and punted. Hayes got the ball, then punted. South went down and scored. And now Hayes has put together a pretty good drive. They have the ball at the 14 of Salina South and fourth down and 3 from there. This is where you got to watch it. Your wide receivers have got to know where the first down marker is, but do not get caught looking in the backfield because they can do a pump fake and then your wide receiver gets behind you. But the linebackers have got to keep their eye on Mr. Delton because, as I said, he will tuck it and run it. South needs a hold here, get the ball back, even deep in their own territory. And hold Hayes out.
Fourth down, 3 for the Hayes.
This will be the second fourth down they've had in this drive. He's looking to throw the ball, he's getting rushed. It's going to be an underneath throw. That's going to be, I think it's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
Pass completed to number 33, Preston Weigel. Tackled by number 22 of the Cougars.
They're going to say first down. I was waiting to see what the officials were going to signal for a timeout to bring the chains out, and they didn't. Again, it was a delay guy that tied in, that kind of delayed, and blocked and delayed and came out. South's got to pick that up. They got to make the adjustment. There's a handoff going to the left. I think he's going to get a little bit, not going to be much.
Number 33, Preston Weigel, the Indian ball carrier. Tackled by the Cougars, number 54, Dalton Harmon.
He's going to get maybe about a yard.
A gain of 2 on the play. Second down, 8.
I don't know where he got it. 2. I didn't see 2. He's looking to throw the ball, and it's incomplete. Now this time the guy that came out, it was covered by Mr. Richards.
Pass falls incomplete. Third down.
Richard Walters. Excuse me, Richard, sorry about that. But, and because he was covered, he had to throw it a little bit more out in front, and it was incomplete. And I don't know how much having that leg not healthy, being able to stride into his throws. Again, South guys moved. I don't know if they're doing it on the snap count or if there's some kind of.
Dead ball. Encroachment by the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Now that's twice in this drive South has done that, given the 3-5 yard. You can't do that. You just can't do that, especially defensive line. They're listening to the snap count and not watching the ball. And Coach Sellers coaches line, unless he has someone who's assisting who helps him and is yelling at to him.
Third down, 4 for the Hayes Indians.
It's going to be a rollout. He's going to throw it. It was actually deflected by a defender, but into another wide receiver's hands for the touchdown.
A gain of 5 yards and a touchdown for Hayes.
Well, South hurt themselves first with 2 offside penalties in this drive, then giving up long plays and not when you had 3rd and long and giving up long plays for first down. They're going to have to make some adjustments. Kick is up and good. So with 10:57 left to go in the second period, you got to score Salina South 7, Hayes 7.
10:57 to go in the second quarter. Your score, Salina
Well, they
South
didn't hit him with any real big,
Hayes
deep,
7.
long plays. More of the anywhere from 8, 10, 12 yard variety when they needed it. But a good defense, when you put them in third and long, they hold them and can get off the field, and that's what this defense has got to do. Coach Sellers was telling me that during the summer, they really worked with a lot of the young kids and getting them ready to go for next year, so that there's no drop down next year, that you keep the same level of play. And the two kids he talked about were the two brothers, Trevin and Steven Slayton. Trevin's a junior, Steven's a sophomore, and he thinks Steven might be better than his older brother. There's a pooch kick. You kind of try to run back with it and try to get across the middle of the field, and that didn't work. You're better off just going north and going as...
The kickoff is returned by number 24, Avery Mitchell of the Cougars.
I think we got a flag down. We do.
Tackle is by number 50, Ethan Dieterding of the Indians. First down, 10 for the Cougars from their own 30-yard line.
We got a flag.
On Hayes, first down.
Sideline warning on Hayes. First time was a warning. Next time it is a mark-off penalty. It was kind of many when they said sideline warning. Actually, both teams started kind of moving back a little bit, but it was Hayes that did most of the moving. All right, he's going in with the eye with two wide receivers split left, tight end right. All right, someone moved from Hayes and they didn't get the long snap count. It's going to be just a Mike Jones off left tackle, following the lead block by Ryan Fox.
Tackled by number 76, Kenny Runkles of the Indians.
It's a pick of about,
Jones picks up 4 yards on the play, second down 6, Cougars.
A short 4, a long 3.
A first quarter score from Great Bend, Salina Central 3, Great Bend 0.
Oh, that's nice. First quarter score is Central 3, Great Bend 0. Good. I'd see both teams get in the playoffs. And there's that kind of a delay, almost a delay.
Number 28, Mike Jones.
Well, instead of the running back Mike Jones come running up, he wastes a Stonebreaker, brings the ball to him, then takes off with it. And that's going to carry up over the 35.
Third down 4 for the Cougars.
You got third down and 4 from there. And what that's going to set up is faking that ball, then Justin Stonebreaker rolling out with it, the option to throwing or running. Looking to throw the ball. He's got Zach. Who didn't make the catch, but was out of bounds.
Number 19, Zach Nockbar. The pass is incomplete.
And here comes the punt team for South.
Coverage by number 12, Clayton Riedel of the Indians. Fourth down 4 for Salina South.
Well, this will be the second punt for South. They punted on their first series, scored on their second. Now they're punting on the third.
On in punt formation for the Cougars, number 82,
And
Jacob Foster.
you look at Hayes, they're set for a fake because South has run the fake this year. Has run it several times. Nice high punt. Get a little bit of a roll down to the 35-yard line. So that's 15.
Jacob Foster's punt, 29 yards down at the Hayes 35-yard line. Will be Indians ball, first and 10.
They only said a 25-yard punt. Mr. Foster needs to kick it a little bit farther than that. Have to tell Alan to give his son, make sure he gets a full bowl of Wheaties in the morning. All right, South's defense got to make these changes now. And he made big bad decision. He's actually going to get a yard, not much. And I was going to say no gain probably. They should have had him for a big loss back there. Again, dropping the head and losing sight of the ball carrier causes missed tackles.
No gain on the play, second down 10 for the Indians.
And Coach Barkley told me after the game last week, he said, JW is just a hard guy to tackle. It is, but I have seen elusive guys, they wait till you drop your helmet and then they make their move. And you got to keep your head up. Here's a handoff to Weigel, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Yeah, he might lose. They had the ball on the high side of the 25. Now it's on the low side, so about the loss of the length of the football.
No gain, third down 10.
Remember what I've always said, and I will keep on saying it. Penetration can destroy any offense. But it's got to be good penetration. Head up, making the tackle in the backfield. And they're blitzing, and they're going to run a screen. And it was read perfectly by Mr. Richard Walters. He's only going to get 3 yards up to the 37-yard line. Or 38, excuse me.
34, Richard Walters of the Cougars.
And that's going to force a punt.
Just 3 yards.
That's what happens when you put him down third and long like that. It should have been even longer. He should have had a 10-yard sack on the previous play.
What a no. Yeah, there's only one bag. That's it.
It's fake. He dropped it. It's going to be a short punt. They're telling everybody to get away. And it is bouncing back upfield, so it did not take a good bounce. So we're like about 12 yards, 24 yards. So they said two 24-yard punts.
38-yard line, first and 10, Salina South.
It's almost like South got the ball right back where they had it when they had to punt. Hayes has traveled fairly well. I don't know if y'all can see that in the crowd. If the director could have one of the cameras point that, but it's not a bad crowd have to come from that far away.
Good job.
All right, here's the quick pitch to Mike Jones. Got the corner, and he's going to be out about the 45-yard line. Back when I was in high school, we were in league with Hayes, so that was Hayes, Great Bend, Junction City, Manhattan, McPherson, Salina, Central. I think that was it. I don't know if we had an 8th team or not. A young man with a shoe problem there for McPherson. I mean for Hayes. They have official stop while he tries to get taken care of. If he can't get taken care of in a good time, then he has to leave the field. Now he's getting it tied. Problem is they wear these gloves, and it's sometimes hard to do the tying with these gloves on. And these gloves are usually so tight, they're hard to get off real quick, then put back on. That's number 4, who's Hayden Kreitzer. He's already made a junior 5'10", 160-pound wide receiver defensive back. Oh, what a nice hop, and he's gone. And folks, that was up the middle. That was up the middle. That little side hop that he has. And that wasn't outside. 55-yard touchdown. And that's what speed would do for you. Once he got past the line of scrimmage, there wasn't a linebacker or anybody there.
Out to attempt the Cougar extra point, number 10, Kevin Krause.
You and me combined.
I mean, there was nobody to second level. There was no linebackers, no safeties, nobody. I think it was tipped, but it still went through good.
Kick is good.
So with 6:54 left to go in the second period, you got to score Salina South 14, Hayes 7.
Hayes 7.
Well, that was real quick. And that's what South can do with that speed. You give Mike Jones a hole, and he's going to take it.
In the concourse area underneath the west grandstand. Suggested donation is $1 for 1 ticket or $5 for 6 tickets. The winner will get half of the total donated in tonight's drawing, which will take place.
This is what I expected more from South, and maybe we might see for the rest of the game. They do have a size differential on their offensive line versus Hayes' defensive line and their linebackers. And at first, speed is okay, but as the game goes on and you get tired, speed slows down. Size does not get smaller. And when your speed on defense slows down, then big guys can get up on you and lock you up, and then you get these sizable holes.
Back deep for the Indians, number 4, Hayden Kreitzer.
All right, here's the kickoff by Dalton. And a high, not a deep kick, at about the 18-yard line. We'll mark him down about the 29-yard line. It'll be an 11-yard return. And let's see what Mr. Dalton and company can do now. If they can answer back South's score like they did to South's first score.
Of the Cougars. It is a return of 12 yards. First down 10 for Hayes from their own 29-yard line.
All right, he's in the shotgun, and he's just going to follow Mr. Weigel around the corner. He's got a gap, and he's going to get all the way up to the 40. That's going to be enough for a first down, pick up 11 yards.
Tackled by number 54, Dalton Harmon.
He might be banged up. He still has some speed to him, and he's got some size too at 6 foot.
Gain of 11 on the play.
I was watching him warm up when I was talking with Coach Cornelson, and kid looks like an athlete. He walks like an athlete. He throws the ball like an athlete. And that was just a quick hitter to the up back.
Number 44, Ty Whittington in the Indian ball carrier.
All right, we got a man down for South on the ground.
50, Cole Smith. To gain of 5 yards on the play.
And I think that's who's down the ground. I'm not sure.
For injury.
There's the trainers. There's Coach Sellers, and I see Doc heading out. I see that we have some former players who are, besides Coach Sellers, who are assisting. Justin Ebert played, Curtis Crawford played, and I remember Trevor Kuhlman played. All played for South. It might just be a cramp or got the wind knocked out of him. No, that's not a win. I think
player is Jack Duffield.
That's what I thought. Jack Duffield, the senior 5'11", 302-pound offensive defensive lineman. He's the guy that you use to his size to try to take up 2 offensive linemen. And I hope he didn't get chopped. He's favoring that left leg, and I can't tell if it's knee or the ankle. I'm hoping he didn't get chopped. A chop block is where you have, you're locked up with a lineman, another lineman comes in, hits you low in the legs. That's a chop block, and that's illegal. But it happens a lot more frequently than it should. Okay, you had 2nd down and 5.
Number 33, Preston Weigel.
He's going to carry it down to the up to the 48-yard line.
Number 50, Cole Smith. It's a gain of 3 on the play, 3rd down 2.
You got 3rd down 2. And this is where your depth has to come into play. He's going to quarterback keeper around the left. Oh, no, he's going to have touchdown. You had 3 missed tackles out there. Banged up, he can still outrun people.
Results in a touchdown for the Indians.
It's a 52-yard run. And they've answered South's 55-yard score with a 52-yard score of their own. That's where the linebacker safety's got to get out there and fill that outside. And he didn't get to the corner. He had to cut back up, but there was a hole. And whenever there's a hole, when you cut back up, that means that second layer of defense either has not gotten there or they have, Coach Cornelson was talking something over to the referee, or been blocked. So that's where South coaches got to get with the defense and work with them. You got, maybe it's just one person out of position. Kick is good, so with 5:24 left to go in the second period, you got to score. Salina South 14, Hayes 14.
24 seconds remaining in the first half. Salina South 14.
Well, this is
14.
not really, quote unquote, a shootout because they've only scored 2 touchdowns apiece. But Hayes has been able to answer South's 2 scores with 2 scores of their own. Well, let's see if they're going to do that little squib kick again. If they do, this time I hope the return man doesn't, the upper return man doesn't try to run all the way back to the middle of the field, but just take it north and south, get as much as you can, because he actually lost about 2 yards when he tried to get behind the blocking wedge. I can guarantee they don't want to get it into Zach Nackbar or Mike Jones' hand. Here's the kick. Again, it's a little pooch kick. It's Avery Mitchell, I believe.
Number 24, Avery
Nope,
Mitchell.
yeah, it is. Yeah, Avery Mitchell.
Tackle by number 20, Jordan Best of the Indians, to return to 6 yards.
Be 6 yards.
First down 10 for the Cougars.
Again, I just prefer to see these guys take it north and south, get the positive yards you can get, instead of always trying to bust a long one. There's a pitch, Mike Jones. He's going to cut back. He's going to be tackled for a loss, but there's a flag too. Mike was just better off just keep going north and try to get as much yards as you can instead of trying to cut back. Again, this is a fast defense for Hayes, and they depend on that speed. I think you had a holding or a block in the back. Could be holding South.
The initial call is holding against the Cougars.
I would be surprised if Hayes takes this, because they had a loss of about 6 yards, so you'd put them down in 2nd down and 16, or 1st down and 20.
Holding. Offense. Penalty decline. 2nd down.
That's the smart decision by Hayes. You got 2nd and 16 instead of 1st and 20. Now,
Jones rushed
you got 2 plays.
results in a 5-yard loss.
Get 8 plus
Second down 15 for the Cougars.
on each play. Again, I've always, and I appreciate, you don't have to get it in one chunk. If it's there, first take it. But it's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. He's going to roll out to the left. There you go, Zach Nakbar, and that is enough for a first down too. That's going deep, then come back to an outside curl almost, and the quarterback Justin Stonebreaker is throwing to a spot, and then Zach just has to adjust to the ball and make the catch, and he makes the catch up to looks like right at the 44, just over the 44-yard line. South has all 3 of their timeouts left. It's going to be an option. Justin's going to keep it. He's going to go over the 50.
Number 12, Justin Stonebreaker on the quarterback option.
That's going to be a pickup of a little over 5 yards.
Brandon Hardwick. It's a gain of 6 yards on first down. Second down 4 for the Cougars.
All right, now second down and 4, any play in your playbook is open. You can just go for the first, or you can try to pop a big one. He's going to give it to Ryan Fox, who's going to have enough for a first down. He's going to get down inside the 44, and that's going to be a first down. And you're doing that not just only to get the first, but you're doing it so they have to respect Ryan Fox. You're up, your fullback. And when South has had, and Central both had good tailbacks, they've also been blessed with good fullbacks that will make you pay if you forget about them. Mike Jones did that little hop step. I don't think he got much.
Mike Jones, the Cougar ball carrier, tripped up by number 7.
The Hayes defender there actually sidestepped the blocker and then was able to hold Mike Jones to carry about, they're going to say 1 yard, but it was about the length of the football. And there was fumble, and Justin picked it up and ran it down to the 40. So he'll pick up 2 yards on that, and that will bring it down to a 3rd down and 7. And we very well could be in 4-down territory.
Tackle is by number 72, Trenton Henningsen. Stonebreaker's carry picks up 3 yards, 3rd down 6 for the Cougars.
Got them spread out, they're going to throw the ball. And that's thrown down to Mitch Roots. He's a senior, 6'3", 163-pound wide receiver and defensive back. It's going to take it down to the 23-yard line. And then that's just a run, then stop, boom, there's the ball. Make the catch and then get what you can.
And a Cougar first down.
And he faked it to Ryan Fox, and he took it over the right tackle down to the 20. That's a pickup of 3 yards. There's an official timeout because we have a Hayes kid that's hurt.
Timeout for injury. To gain of 3 yards.
I think it's an upper body injury, or maybe got his bell rung or something because he's walking off, but he did not refuse the trainer holding on to him, which tells me he might not be altogether there. They're looking into his eyes, so it very well could be he got his bell rung. And concussion is a serious option. Mike's going to do the option to the right and keep it himself. They had 2 people out there, so the pitch man was taken away. They got it down to the 17-yard line. There it's going to be a 3rd down and 4.
3 yards, brings up 3rd down 4 for the Cougars.
All right, in that pro eye. It's going to be a double lead from Mike Jones, and he's going to score.
Touchdown, Cougars.
A 17-yard score.
Jones for 17 yards out.
Well, you've given Hayes a minute 33. They've got all three of their timeouts.
Number 10, Kevin Krause.
So you're going to just have to wait and see if South can go into halftime with this lead. Nice, good kick, strong kick.
Kick is good.
So with a minute 33 on seconds on the clock, you got to score. South 21, Hayes 14.
Hayes 14.
Now, the clock is Hayes' enemy. You don't want any kind of a good return. You want to get them as deep as you possibly can. And what little breeze we had to start the game is gone. The flag is just dead against the pole. We had our full-time member from Access who comes with the truck, Aaron, and his lovely wife from Malaysia. Her name is, in English, means singing, and she does like to sing. And she brought a traditional Malaysian meal to share with us all, and that was good. And if anyone knows me, you know I like Asian food. I've had Chinese, I've had Korean, Japanese, I've had Vietnamese, I've had Thai. I haven't met one I haven't liked. But this was good. It was in their language called bean noodle. Oh, there you go. Flag. One of the South guys was offsides. 5 yards and re-kick.
Encroachment by the kicking team. 5-yard penalty and will re-kick.
That's 3 mistakes now that South has made. They should not be making. So Dalton Harmon, the kicker, comes over to the special teams coach to get, well, that was Coach Hooper, who coaches the offense. I thought Coach Smith was the special teams coach. And so to get his, do you want to do that kind of kick again or kick deep? He's kicking it on an angle. He's got it aimed, and he's got it laying flat. So they're going to squib kick this thing. And it's a squib kick. They're going to call offsides again.
Encroachment by the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
Now they're probably going to kick deep. And there should be no reason why those 2 penalties should have happened. You're taught you are to run behind the kicker. When he kicks the ball, you should be a yard to a yard and a half off that line. Now he's going to kick it high. It's going to be a squibber down to about the 35. And he's going to get it up to about the 50-yard line. And that's not,
35, Isaiah Blackman.
that was bad. Now you've given them about 51 yards to go to try to put this in the end zone with a minute 28 on the clock. And they got all 3 of their timeouts. And again, to reiterate, the clock stops on first downs to reset the chains in the ball. And then it started back up again. And they're just looking to throw the ball. Now there's going to be a flag. There's going to be a flag because he never turned to to make a play on the ball. He made a play on the man. You've got to turn and make a play on the ball. And Mr. Slayton did not do that.
Pass interference by the defense for face guarding. That's a 15-yard penalty, results in a first down.
See, you can't put your hands up in his face mask to try to hinder him from catching the ball when you're not making a play on the ball. Now, if your hands are up and you're actually making an attempt on the ball, that's not face guarding. And that's because he let himself get beat. He's looking. It's down right there.
Number 5, Alex Delton.
And he's going to be tackled all the way back to the 48-yard line. He pump faked, and you saw the defender turn and go like he hit down the ball, but two of them didn't take the fake, and that was Mr. John McNabb, the senior 5'8", 160-pound linebacker. I actually saw in college a pump fake when he was past the line of scrimmage, and the defender still bought it, and he ran around him, and the announcers were laughing. They couldn't help it. So now you got a second down at 22. It's going to hand it off to Mr. Weigel.
Number 44.
Oh no, 44. Ty Winnington. He's a senior, 6'3", 207-pound running back.
Number 34.
Big kid.
Of the Cougars.
He runs a little upright though.
Number 32. Aaron Marr.
He needs to learn to run a little bit lower and get his pads a little bit lower. And at 207 pounds, just becomes like a battering ram. Well, that's going to take the clock. They're not going to snap the ball. And the Hayes crowd's not real happy with that. Well, that's halftime.
And at halftime.
With a score of Salina South 21, Hayes 14.
Hayes.
We'll see you at the halftime show, sponsored by Maori Clinic. Welcome to the Maori Clinic halftime show. And the game is shaping up somewhat like I thought it was going to shape up in, is that we have a close score of South 21, Hayes 14. South scored first. Hayes answered. South scored again. Hayes answered. Then South scored and only gave them a minute 33, which do something, and they weren't able to, so they go on to score up by 1. But I actually thought, if there was going to be a close game, it was going to be a higher scoring game. And the reason I say that is both teams are very explosive offensively. But Coach Cornelson is very concerned about the size of South's line, offense and defense. Now, South's offensive line has held up their end. The defense has not quite. They've missed tackles, gave up a 52-yard run by the quarterback, Mr. Delton. It's going to come down to very well be as whoever starts playing better assignment sound football. We haven't had any turnovers. One ball was on the ground by South, but they recovered it themselves, so there wasn't a fumble. Again, the South had some penalties. On the one scoring drive, they had 2 offside penalties, and that gave them, took them from a 3rd and long to a 3rd and short, and they were able to convert those. Then on this kickoff after the 3rd score by South, South's had 2 offside penalties on 2 kickoff attempts. I've never seen that before. And that's where the man has just got to time it so that he's about a yard behind the 40 when Mr. Harmon, or the kicker, kicks the ball. So I'm sure this is going to be talked to about in at halftime with Coach Sellers. He's very big on penalties. They run on Monday, so I see some more running coming up for South on Monday. So I'll see you at the start of the second half.
Out to kickoff for the Cougars, number 54, Dalton Harmon. Back deep for the Indians, number 1.
Here's our kickoff, folks. Start of the second half. Wasn't a deep kick. Got a little bit of a seam. I think he's going to be short of the 40. Or they're going to, mark him. I think they're going to mark him just a little bit short of the 40. South doesn't really get any really deep kicks unless they have the wind at their back.
22 yards out to
Dalton Harmon is the kickoff man, and he just doesn't quite have the leg to get it inside the 10 and the 5 already into the end zone.
first down 10, Indians.
And it's a handoff to Weigel. Missed tackles again. There's going to be a flag, which I believe will come back.
Number 33, Preston Weigel, the Indian ball carrier. There's a flag on the play.
That's a sideline warning on
First
South.
down.
So that's a first down. And there was a number of busted
Weigels carried
tackles.
for 43 yards. First down 10, Indians from the Cougars 17.
This guy is quick, but he's not fast like Delton is. So again, those guys dropping their heads and missing a tackle. It's a handoff to
Number 44, Ty Whittington. The
Ty
lead
Whittington.
ball carrier, tackled by number 75, Jeremy Young of the Indians. Check that up the Cougars. It's a gain of 2, second down 8 for Hayes.
I did not see if Mr. Duffield is back on the field or not. Looks like he is. I was understanding that it might have been an ankle that they retaped. And they're not going to get much again.
Number 33, Preston Weigel.
He's
the
going to get
Indian
about a
ball
yard,
carrier,
it looks like,
tackled by number
for Preston
52,
Weigel.
Garrett Mortimer of the Cougars.
Down at the 14-yard. Now the guy says he's
Gain
down
of
at the
1,
13.
third down 7 for the Indians.
Well, unless they've got a good field goal kicker, I would believe they're in fourth down territory. He's looking to throw it. And that's going to be penalties.
Alex Delton's pass
The wide receiver actually was knocked down by the defender.
Falls incomplete. There are flags on the play.
And, well, there was a, the throw was high. And that's what they might discuss, and whether it was a catchable football or not, or what.
Pass interference by the defense. That'll be enforced half the distance to the goal line. First down.
All right. That's where another pitcher has to come in and say, hey, that ball was
First down
non-catchable.
goal for the Indians.
But he was knocked down.
South, 7-yard
I
line.
had a perfect angle from where I'm sitting. South's defense has helped Hayes' offense with penalties. Here's a keeper around the left end, and he's going to be dropped for a loss.
Number 5, Alex Delton on the quarterback keeper. Upended on the play by number 22,
Cade Calvert on that tackle.
It's a loss of 2 on the play. Second down goal
Okay.
from the 9-yard line.
I can second down and goal from the 9. And that penalty was an automatic first down, too. So they had first down and goal to go from the 7. He's looking to throw it again. Touchdown. And the
Touchdown.
defender,
Hayes
which I think
high.
is Mr. Nakbar, just was too far off.
Number 5, Alex
And you
Delton,
shouldn't be
number
that far off
89,
when
Lane
you're
Clark.
that close to the end zone. They can't keep running forever, because then you run out the back of the end zone. Just gave him too much of a cushion, and Mr. Delton, with his accurate arm, made him pay for that. South defense is going to have to step
Out
up.
to attempt the Hayes point after, number 89, Lane Clark.
Kick is good, so with 9:40
First
left to
kick
go
is
in
good.
the third quarter, you got to score
9 minutes,
Salina
20
South
seconds
21,
remaining in the
Hayes
third
21.
quarter. Salina South 21, Hayes 21.
And this is something that South defense coaches got to get with the defense and talk to them about. One, you got to cut with the penalties. Second, you got to get them out on fourth down. Third, keep your head up and quit missing tackles. All right. Hayes has been doing little pooch kicks. So they have like their good hands team out on the field. So you don't have your kind of your linebacker, fullback type on the front line to, unless they're good hands people. Because they've been doing a pooch kick. And here again, another pooch kick. Avery Mitchell this time. This time he's going north and south. And he almost broke it. He's going to carry it all the way up to over the 45-yard line. He was one step away from taking that the distance. Oh, it's Cole Calvert.
Calvert returns the ball out to the Cougar 46-yard line, where it will be first down 10, Salina South.
Avery Mitchell had been in that spot before. I don't know if they switched spots or they're giving him a breather. But Cole Calvert is the little brother to Cade Calvert. He's 21, a sophomore, number 21, and 5'9", 143-pound running back, defensive back. There's Mike Jones again, up the middle. And I heard there was a couple of college scouts here looking at Mike Jones, and they were talking to Coach Sells for the game. And they were talking about Mike Jones is very deceptive in his running style, that it looks like he's hesitant, but what he's doing, he's reading the blockers, and as soon as he sees the hole, then he explodes into it, and he explodes rather quickly. And they said what we realize is he's smart. He's waiting for the blockers to set up, and then he reacts to it. He's going to be fake, he's going to throw it. Just a little bit overthrown. That looks like it might have been to
Justin Stonebreaker's pass intended for number 15, Dylan Becker.
Or Dylan Becker, sophomore, 6 foot, 141-pound wide receiver, defensive back.
The pass falls incomplete. Third down 5, Salina South.
You just need to take it just a little bit off that throw, but there was really, this didn't miss by much. Okay, now you got a third down and 5. And Ryan Fox is going to carry it down inside the 45, down to the 44, inside the 44-yard line.
Fox, the Cougar ball carrier. Run up the middle, good for 5 yards, and a Cougar first down.
And that's going to be enough for a first down. That's going to be a reverse to Zach Nakbar. He's got the corner. And they're going to be down inside the 10.
Number 19, Zach Nakbar, the Cougar ball carrier.
He was coming in motion. They faked it to Mike Jones and gave it to Zach on the reverse. And he's going to carry it all the way down to the, mark it down inside the 8-yard line.
A rush of 36 yards for the Cougars and a first down goal from the Hayes 8-yard line.
Yeah, you saw what speed would do for you. But there was one man blocking. He was trying to block 2 guys, and he did a fair job. He just didn't. You just can't block 2 sometimes. It's a math issue. There's a quick pitch to Mike Jones. Made the first man miss. Still on his feet, still running. He's actually going to lose a yard back to the 9-yard line. Hayes had more people out there than South could block. And I don't know if Justin has the ability or been given the freedom to audible out if he sees that the defense is overloaded to that side and do something different. You going to hand off to Ryan Fox. He's still running with it, still running with it, still running with it. He's going to be short of the goal line.
Number 25, Ryan Fox, the Salina South ball carrier.
I say give it to him again. Let him score.
Tackled by number 33, Preston Weigel.
We're going for that nice hard run. That was a 9-yard run. They're going to say 8, but he took it from the 9 to the 1 foot line. We got an equipment issue. And the official is helping with it. Okay. That's what you do as official. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Get it to him again. Give it to him again. He should have had it on this side. But they're going to mark him short.
Tackle by number 55.
Do it again.
Check that, number 59.
You got 4th down and 1.
No gain on the play. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
And that's what I'm thinking, that they might just do a quarterback sneak with Justin. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Hands up, touchdown.
Justin Stonebreaker for 1 yard out.
Got to wait till they get to the bottom of the pile. And what really helped was Ryan Fox and Mike Jones came behind him and kind of helped push him into the end zone.
The extra point.
And
Number 10, Kevin Krause.
South is retaking the lead. Kick is up and good.
Krause's kick is good.
So with 6:19 left to go in the third quarter, you got to score Salina South 28, Hayes 21. Now, South's defense needs to step up. They need to force a punt out of Hayes and early. Hold him deep, get the ball in good position, and then take that ball down the field and score again. They need to put some distance between them and Hayes. Good teams really need to learn how to put the other team away. That's what separates good teams from great teams. As great teams, put the other team away. Well, that was a nice drive by South. Number of good plays, especially the 30-plus yard. I think it's a 34-yard reverse by Zach Nakbar. I wonder if he's going to squib it again. Nope. High, not deep. And he called a fair catch. He called a fair catch. He shook the hand in the air. That's a fair catch, folks. Can't return it. So they get the ball at the 29-yard line. And if you're not a running back, that's what you're taught to do. That was a number 50. And that's Ethan Dieterding, who a junior 6-foot lineman. It says L and N, so that must be offensive lineman, defensive nose guard. And I do not see Mr. Duffield back on the field. Okay, there's another one that was quick. There's again. Missed tackle.
Number 5.
You got to break down, getting good, and get your feet wide so you can react to the move of the ball carrier. And you got to keep your head up and keep focused on his stomach.
Gain 11. First down, Hayes.
Hand off to Mr. Weigel. He's going to get the ball up to about 45-yard line. And they're getting 4 and 5 yards on this play there with an offensive line that's really not that big. Again, we lost some size with Mr. Duffield being hurt. He's 302 pounds. He's looking to throw and rolling out to the right. And was under pressure, and he underthrew the pass. Let's see what Coach Cornelson is going to choose to do. Oh, I thought it was actually, sorry folks, I thought it was, thought it was fourth down. Sorry about that. When the man flipped from first to second, he actually flipped from first to third, and so when I looked up, saw third. He must have flipped back to being second down. All right, this is where South's got to get out the field. They've got to hold him here. And it's a quarterback keeper, and he's actually going to be dropped for a loss. Aaron Marr makes a tackle. It's a 2-yard loss. Now you got fourth down, and I think about 7. Yep, fourth down is 7. And it looks like they're going for it. I think the Amnesty Church said that's a mistake. I think that very well could be. Because if you don't make it, it's going to be a pooch kick. Okay, now it's a smart move. No return. And if it goes all the way into the end zone, and it's going to go all the way into the end zone, and he tried to dive to save him from getting the end zone. Actually, what he did was he punched it into the end zone. And there was a late hit here over on the sideline, and they're not going to call it. And that brought a lot of the South kids and Coach Sellers all the way out in the field to talk to that official. Because there was a late hit over here, some late action by one of the Hayes kids. They're going to mark the ball down at the 2-yard line. Well, defense did their job. They got it marked down the 1-yard line. All right, let's see a 99-yard touchdown run. Justin Stormberger is just going to keep it and carry it up to get a little bit of room to maneuver between the line of scrimmage and the goal line. It's going to be a 2-yard carry up to the 3. And that was just to create some space. You know, a gentleman passed by who always sat beside us last year. They moved a little further down this time. That's 28 Mike Jones going to carry up to just short of the 9. They're going to mark it down to 8. Third down and 3 from there.
Third down 3 for the Cougars.
All right, third down and 3, what they're going to do. And the defense jump. That should be encroachment, an automatic first down.
There's a flag on the play.
Some friends getting here.
Encroachment
Parents of
by the defense.
my daughters.
Penalty, the result is a first down.
Classmate of my daughters. They played basketball, MAYB basketball for years together. And that's a first down.
Following the penalty on the Indians.
Takes it out to the 13-yard line.
From their own 13-yard line.
Now he's looking to throw it. As he caught it, now it's a race. It's a race, and they're not going to catch him.
Touchdown!
It's going to be an 87-yard touchdown pass to Zach Nakbar.
To number 19, Zach Nakbar, 87 yards.
Now there's the 2 touchdown difference, and you don't want to sit back on this. You want to hold again and put it in the end zone again. You want to put some distance between you and a good Hayes team. Because in district, it just doesn't mean wins, but how much you win by, the margins can account to something. And I'll explain that in a second. Kick by Kevin Cross is up and good. So with 3:01 to go in the third quarter, you got a score. Salina South 35, Hayes 21. Let's say you have two teams that end up in district at 2-1. What happens is you go by points scored versus points allowed, and that who wins district. I remember my stepson's senior year, they had to go down to Great Bend, beat Great Bend the last game of district by some points to get into the playoffs. And they walloped them like 60 to 20 something. I mean, but they were up like 24-0 in the first half of the first quarter was done with. We got there a tad late and they already had 2 touchdowns, and we were just like a couple of minutes late and they were already up 2 touchdowns. We got to sit with all the other senior parents like, what the heck did we miss? And they had to explain it to us. But points are critical during the district. Okay, Kevin Cross is going to go kick off. Oh, much nicer kick all the way. And he fumbled it back at the 50, still fumbling it. And he's going to be clobbered at about the 17-yard line. Much further kick by Mr. Kraus.
Kickoff return.
Kevin did a great kick there by Kevin Kraus. And everybody's getting a handshake on him right now on that. Number 10, the 5'9", 134-pounder. Senior, been a longtime friend of my daughter's. He's a bit of an antagonist. He's pro KU and she's pro K-State, so they always go at each other over K-State and KU stuff. But he also plays a trumpet in the band. He's an excellent trumpet player. He's coming out of shotgun. They're going to spread it, and they're going to try to let Ben run it. And he's going to get about 4 yards up to the 21-yard line. Folks, if you have nothing to do and you have time to watch this whole game, South Band is going to put on their light show afterwards, where they turn off the lights at the stadium and they decorate themselves with Christmas lights and glow sticks, and they put on quite a show. And this has become a bit of a fan favorite.
Remember the K-State game, Brandon?
All right, now he's got 3 receivers split right, and he's looking to throw to the underneath man, which he did, and he missed it. But this time they had defense coming at him, and he wouldn't have gotten a whole lot of yards.
He's dropped. 3rd down 6.
Let me see, coming out there was number 54 and 52, and that's 52 is Garrett Mortimer, I knew that, and 54 is Dalton Harmon. Both linebackers, inside linebackers, were out there. You have a strong side linebacker and a weak side linebacker when you have 2 middle linebackers. And that's what they're doing. If they're playing with 3 down linemen, they're playing almost a 3-4. And they'll blitz one of the linebackers. But this way they can play 2 safeties deep. It's a screen. And it's going to be incomplete. It's going to be incomplete. And it was covered. Even if he had caught it, he wasn't going anywhere. South has done it twice now. South has forced
4th down 7,
a 3-and-out here on this series. Second series, they forced them into a punt. Last time they did a pooch punt. They caught them by surprise and went all the way down to the 1. South got a 1st down out to the 13, then threw an 87-yard touchdown pass from Justice Stonebreaker to Zach Nackbar.
Check out the Cougars, number 19.
Zach Nackbar's back, short kick. Everyone's got to get away. Everyone's got to get away. It's going out of bounds. And it's going to.
Hickens punt, kicked out of bounds.
All right, he's waiting for as he comes down the line, he's waiting for the referee to drop his arm right there. All the way back to the 32-yard. I was going to say, that wasn't even a 20-yard punt. That wasn't even a 15-yard punt. All right, now, South's got to take advantage of getting this great field territory. They need to go put this into the end zone. Right now, you don't have to worry about taking time off. You want 7. You want to put them down by 21 points. You want to be up 3 scores. This is what separates good teams from great teams. Great teams will not take their foot off the pedal. He's looking to throw it. There it is again. And it's going to be a touchdown. Zach Nakbar. It was a jump ball between him and number 1, Adam Kloss. He was a junior, 5'9", 149-pound defensive back. And Zach is 6'3". So, folks, that's a 6-inch difference on height. And it showed because Zach used that 6-inch height difference to go up, grab the rebound, and fall into the end zone and score. And that's exactly what he did. He got position, he boxed out the defender, and got the ball. And that kick is up and good with 1:48 to go in the third quarter. Now you got to score Salina South 42, Hayes 21. Now, you might not like this vernacular, but the difference between great teams and good teams is this is where you put your foot on the throat and you don't take it off until the body stops twitching. I remember my old football coach telling us that to give us an idea of what he meant. You can't let them get back up off and try to make a comeback. You got to bury him and bury him hard now. And they're going to have to come out and they're going to have to spread. They're going to have to start throwing the ball, maybe letting Mr. Delton with his athletic ability to run and pass. In essence, you've taken their good running back, Mr. Weigel, Preston Weigel, out of the picture except as a pass catcher. And by doing it, though, now he doesn't have an offensive line in front really to block for him. He's going to have to make yardage on his own.
Off to kick off for the Cougars, number 10, Kevin Krause. Back deep for the Indians, number 1, Adam Klaus.
And Krause is kicking deep right at the 20. He's going to angle across. He's going to try to, he's not even going to get back to the 30. He only got a 9-yard return. Now, since they've gone to Kevin to kick, he's kicking it deeper.
Richard Walters of the Cougars.
And the backfield judge was saying something to Kevin as he picked up the tee, and I don't know what he said because Kevin started to hit off the field, and the official said something to him. And now the special team coach came over and asked him what was said, so I'm going to have to ask Sam what he said to Kevin. Well, he was under center, and they're still going to try to run the ball. And they're going to do a flag. I don't know what the flag's for, unless it's going to be a late hit.
Number 33, Preston Weigel, the ball carrier for the Indians.
They're giving about maybe a yard or yard and a half carry. There was a fumble, so I don't know what the penalty, the flag was for. Sure like to see one of those go against Hayes now. We've seen enough of go against South. That's going against South. South's walking backwards.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense. Unnecessary roughness after the whistle. 15 yards. First down.
Well, the ball was on the ground and they were going for the ball, but that's where the officials got to understand that you're already in your dive and you blow the whistle. You can't stop diving. So that's going to take the ball all the way out to the 46-yard line. But that's where the defense has got to play smart. They really have to play smart. You play to the whistle. When that whistle goes, then you ease up. He's looking to throw it. Oh, and he's going to be sacked.
Number 5, Alex Delton.
I can't see who got him.
He is sacked on the play.
John McNabb, the senior 5'8", 163-pound linebacker. John McNabb.
Second down, 12.
He's not a real big linebacker, but he's an outside linebacker, and he uses his speed, and he's, again, one of those little tough as nuts kid. You know, just who plays bigger than what they are. That's a 2-yard loss. They're going to hunt it to, I think that's Preston Weigel.
Number 1, Adam Klaus, the Indian ball carrier.
Oh, Adam Klaus, running back, defensive back.
Number 70, Alex Parker of the Cougars. It's a gain of 2 on the play.
So they're going to go back to the national line of scrimmage now, 3rd down and 10. With the clock ticking, they're probably going to get another playoff. They might be able to get a playoff. If they're hurried, they get another playoff. You got 17 seconds and counting. He's looking to throw it. He's getting rushed. It's going to be underneath. That's going to be enough for a first down.
Alex Delton's pass is complete to number 89, Lane Clark.
And that's the quarter. So in the 3rd quarter, you got to score Salina South 42.
Tackled by number 54,
Hayes
the Cougars,
21.
Dalton Harmon.
Well, folks, at halftime it was 14. It was 21-14.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
South.
We will have a measurement.
Hayes got the opening kick, took it down the field, scored. Tying the game up 21-21. Then South ran off 3 touchdown plays to run the score 42-21. And just like that, boom. Now they're checking to see if it's a first down or not. I think it might be a little bit short. Nope, it's not. Because where I saw the official come walking in on this side, it looked like about a football length short. But they must have went with the person over on the far side. Again, it also might be what John Madden would say, whether it's a right foot or a left foot mark. And let's say the right foot is the foot further downfield. And then he said he noticed if an official's marked, and if they use the short foot, it usually always marks short of a first down. But if they use the far foot or the foot furthest downfield, it was usually a first down.
At this time, we will announce the winning ticket from tonight's drawing.
Take a quick drink here to wet my whistle.
The winner is ticket number 0839462.
Well, we got 12.
Again, that ticket number 0839462.
Oh, a lady right down here won. She's celebrating. She's celebrating. She gets half the pot. The other half.
To collect your winnings.
There was almost a fumble, but between the full quarterback and the ball carrier, Ty Whittington, I think that's how he pronounced his name. Yeah, Ty Whittington. And because of it, they only got a yard on the play.
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down 9 for the Indians.
You got 2nd down and 9. They're blitzing. And he's going to score. He's going to score. The defender did not turn around. He's got to learn to read the eyes and turn and make a play on the ball. And he didn't even do that. He didn't turn around and look at all. That's Mr. Trevor Slayton. The skid is fast, folks, but he's got to learn how. Trevor's got to learn how, and he's a junior. He's got time to learn, but he's got to learn how to read the eyes, turn around, and make a play on the ball. He actually had good position on him. He just got to turn and make a play. Ooh, that almost got blocked. They had a penetration all the way across, outside and inside. So with 11:16 to go in the 4th period, we got a score of Salina South 42, Hayes 28. Now South needs to answer this, take this right down the field and put this in the end zone, get it back to being a 3-score lead. But they really need to watch for an onside kick. They need to be prepared for this. That's the horns in the drum section. They go down the length of the field in front of the length of the track in front of the stands and play this. Kind of get the people up on their feet. cheering. Again, I expect another pooch kick again. But you got wide receivers and running backs doing. It's going to be an onside kick.
The onside kick attempt is
Now there should be a penalty there because he was already down on the ground. Mr. Marcotte, the sophomore
South will take over first down 10 from their own 48
wide
yard
receiver, who the South coaches
line.
just
Another
rave
Class
about.
5A district action at the end of the third quarter. Salina Central 34.
He got it and went straight down the ground. Great Bend 34-7 over Central. I didn't want to hear that. I was really hoping Central would go out and beat Great Bend and then beat Hayes, and we get both Salina teams in the playoffs. Okay, here's that lead by Mike Jones. And whatever he got on his own, because there was he made one man miss and the other man still got to him.
No gain on the play. Second down 10 from the Cougar 48-yard line.
I would expect Hayes to crowd this line of scrimmage. If you're going to beat him, you're going to have to beat him throwing. Okay, as a handoff to Ryan Fox.
Number 25, Ryan Fox.
He's going to carry it over the 50, down to about the
59 of the Indians, Brandon Hardwick.
looks out inside the 47.
Gain of 5 on the play, third down 5.
Now you got third down 5. Now that's a nice pickup. Again, you got to make them respect that inside carry by the fullback. He's looking to throw it again. And it's going to be a nice catch.
Justin Stonebreaker's pass is complete to number 18, Jacob Marcotte.
Jacob Marcotte, sophomore right there. I knew it was number 19. I couldn't read if it was 18 or 14. Andrew Haynes, the senior wide receiver. All right, first down at the 38-yard line. Now this is nice. You don't have to score big. Take some time off the clock. Make the clock Hayes' enemy. He's looking to throw it. Oh, had him open too. Had him open.
Number 12, Justin Stonebreaker's pass is intended for number 15.
Dylan Becker, the sophomore wide receiver. I'm going to have to ask Coach Sellers about Mr. Becker because he's had some playing time tonight. Coach Sellers told me that once they can get the cast off Aaron Marr's hand, he'll go back to playing wide receiver. But right now they got him playing defense because he can't catch anything with that cast on his hand. They're going to roll out to right, looking to throw it. It's going to be a comeback, and it's going to be down to the 20-yard line.
Number 12, Justin Stonebreaker's
they're going to mark him inside the 20.
19,
Zach Nachmar's, he's got to be way over 150 yards in receiving right now, maybe close to 200. And I know that Justin's got to be over 200 yards in passing right now. And he easily have got over 100 yards in rush. And this has been a very balanced attack by South. And that's going to be a carry by 25, Ryan Fox. And kind of went off between the guard and the tackle on the left side. And he only gained one, but because he's running on a slant like that, you run about 3 or 4 yards to make one. I guess I've always referred my fullbacks just running straight north and south. It's a delay handoff to fake, and he couldn't get his feet set, and he had 2 men. All right, he's a late flag. Late flag. We might have a roughing the passer flag here, but he had 2 men open. Yep, roughing the passer. That's the first big penalty going against Hayes. That's a frustration penalty. But I said he had 2 men out in that area of the field with one defender in between them, and he could not get his feet set to make an accurate
roughing the passer by the defense. That's a half the distance enforcement, automatic.
First down. That's the kicker right there. You don't get a whole lot of yards because it's half the distance, but it's automatic first down. All right, that's the first big penalty against Hayes. They've only had one other penalty I know of, and that was a 5-yard.
First down goal for the Cougars, just inside the Hayes 10-yard line.
Quarterback keeper by Justin Stonebreaker, and in he goes. 9-yard touchdown run by Justin Stonebreaker.
Justin Stonebreaker from 9
He
yards
faked it
out.
to Ryan Fox and then followed Ryan and Mike Jones off tackle to the left. And as you can see, a perfect camera angle. I've got the camera here beside me on it. He walked in untouched. And that's what they needed to do. They needed to put it back to being a 3-score lead.
Out to attempt the
I
extra
see a
point for
neighbor
the
of
Cougars.
mine.
Number 10,
He's
Kevin
the father
Krause.
of my daughter's best friend, Annika Sundell. Her father retired,
Krause's kick is
I believe,
good.
was about to retire from the fire
8
department
minutes, 42 seconds remaining
as a
in the
paramedic.
contest.
All right, 8:42 left to go on the clock. The score was South
Hayes
49, Hayes
28.
28. And there are the Sundells. Like I said, my daughter's best friend, been that way since I believe the 3rd or 4th grade, and they'll both be each other's maid of honor whenever they get married.
I'd like to remind everyone that following tonight's contest,
They're like yin and
the
yang.
Cougar Marching Band will present their annual light show.
And if you got parents got daughters, you
Please
know what
make
I'm
note
talking
that
about.
Approximately 10 minutes after the game is completed, the lights in the stadium will be extinguished.
They're talking about the
For
light show.
approximately 15 minutes during the marching band's presentation, and then they will be illuminated once again.
So don't go anywhere, folks. And if you're seated in the stands, don't go
The
anywhere.
Cougar Marching Band's annual light show.
And it is an excellent show.
Off to kick off for the Cougars, number 10, Kevin Krause. Back deep for the Indians, number 1.
Here we go, a kick. It's going to kick right about the 20. He made one man miss, but he ain't going to get much further. Oh, wait a minute. Wow. A couple of people actually just ran right past him and lost sight of him.
Returns the kick.
I don't know how they did that.
Number 44.
He's going to get up to where? I'm going to mark it down at, what, was it 38-yard line?
Klaus's return is good for 17 yards. Will be Hayes' ball, 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard
Short of the
line.
38-yard line, and that was still a good kick by Kevin Krause. It's just a couple of people ran right past him. And that's the other thing, you run down high speed, it's really easy sometimes to get bumped out of your lane or to run past because you're running down as fast as you can to get down there and try to make a play. Okay, he goes 2 receivers right, 1 left, and he's going to hand off to Mr. Weigel, the up back.
Number 33, Preston Weigel, the Indian ball carrier.
He didn't go out of bounds because they're keeping the clock running.
Tackled by number 52, Garrett Mortimer of the Cougars.
Nice tackle by Garrett.
Weigel's carry is good for 2 yards. Second down.
They only got
8.
2 yards on
Hayes
that
from
play,
their own
and
40-yard
Hayes has
line.
got to get it in chunks right now. If they want to win this game, unless they're thinking they've already lost it and all they got to do is beat Central. That's not sound thinking, folks. You could be going up against a very wounded Central team next, and they want to go out a winner. All right, they're blitzing, and they're going to get them. Richard Walters blitzed from the outside linebacker spot on the right side of the defense, left side of the offense, but they also blitzed a couple others, so he ran in unopposed, and it was to Mr. Delton's blind side, and by the time he saw it, it was too late. And that's going to go all the way back to the
Loss of 6 on the play.
34-yard line.
From the Hayes 34-yard line.
Now you got 3rd down and 14 from there. So that's a 6-yard loss. You got a man in motion. They faked it. And it's a center screen. And he's going to get yards. Got too much. Got all the way down inside the 50.
Alex
A couple of people had shots on him. and screen. And when you got a good pass rush and they're blitzing, a screen is an excellent play to call. So that was an excellent play call, excuse me, by the Hayes coaches. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is.
Check that 46-yard line.
But they've got to score quick, and then they've got to onside it, recover it, and score kick again. And they're faking the ball fake, and they're going to throw a flag again on Mr. Slayton because he's not making a play on the ball. He's not making a play on the ball. And this is where the official, if he's a good official, he will explain to the player why. And that's what they're asking him. He's got to turn and make a play on the ball. That is the ruling. And if he doesn't turn to make a play on the ball, and he's
Pass interference by the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty. The result is a first down.
15-yard penalty because the wide receiver is trying to adjust to the ball, and the defender gets in his way, inhibits his way, then that's pass interference, folks. And if you don't know where the ball is, that's what happens. You've got to turn and make a play on the ball. Running with them is one thing. The second thing you got to do is turn and make a play. They're blitzing again. Oh, nice hit. Nice hit. He's going to get to the 30-yard line. Boy, that was a nice pop. I don't know if you could hear it, but we wish you could hear it up here.
It's tackled by number 70, Alex Parker, and number 54, Dalton Harmon of the Cougars. It's a gain of
And
1 on the play.
Mr. Cole Smith comes off, and I don't know if his shoulder or just the wind get the wind knocked out of him. Looks like it might be just be wind. All right, they're blitzing again. And a throwback to underneath guy.
Alex Delton's pass completed to number 89, Lane Clark. It's a gain of 15 yards for the Indians.
Yeah, I got the coaches are out
Tackled by number 54, Dalton
talking to
Harmon of
somebody.
the Cougars.
There was a kind of a block
Completion, first
down the
10,
field
Indians
that should have been called when the
15-yard line.
play the throw was in the air. You can't have that. That should have been offensive pass interference. That's what the South players on the field, on the sidelines, and the coaches were all pointing at. You can't do that. Once the ball is caught, then you can. They were trying to get it. They were trying to get an offside.
Timeout, Hayes.
Hayes was trying to,
That's their first. Timeout.
and the quarterback did do a flinch. And you can't, as I hear Dan Messina talking in front of me, you can't do that. Quarterback cannot flinch, cannot bob his head. He can't do anything but make a snap count. And he did bob his head. And that's where the officials have to throw the flag. You got 5:53 on the clock and you're down by 3 touchdowns. You got to score quick. And they just tried on that pass play, but Mr. Slayton's got to learn how to get downfield, turn, and make a play on the ball. And that is his technique issues, folks. He's running stride for stride with him, so show me he's got the speed and he can stick to him. He's just got to learn now to take the next step and get that head turn and make a play on the ball. There's a snap. He's rolling out to the right. He's getting some pressure. And it's a touchdown.
Pass is complete to number 4.
And it beat Mr. Slayton again.
15 yards and a touchdown for the Indians.
And right now, Mr. Slayton is being
Coverage
beaten
on the
mentally.
play by number 7, Trevin Slayton.
I heard
Number 22, Cade Calvert.
a former pro who was talking on NFL Channel, and he said his college coach told him before you to get beat physically, you have to be beat mentally.
She's already been embarrassed enough by me. Whatever you
And I'll explain that after this extra point attempt. And that kick is no good.
No good.
He did not
5 minutes, 25
kick it
seconds
through
remaining
because
in
of the rush
regulation.
that South
Your
has put on
score,
these extra point
Salina
attempts.
South
And the
49,
rush got there again, and he squibbed it off to
34.
the right. So you guys score with 5:25 left to go in this fourth quarter of score. Salina South 49, Hayes 34. But what he was talking about on you have to be neat mentally before you can beat physically, because he was talking about at the collegiate level, then later on at the pro level. You know what I mean? These are all professional athletes, and at the college level, they're all good athletes. No matter what school you are, they're good athletes. Or they wouldn't have got that scholarship, and they're playing football there. So for you to be able to be beaten physically, that means one, you've mentally have allowed yourself to be beaten. And if you don't allow it to happen, coach said, you won't be beat physically. Right now, Mr. Slayton has got his head down, and you got two coaches talking to him, and they're trying to pump him up, trying to get him into positive thinking, and he's the only defender down there who hasn't taken his helmet off. And it went out of bounds, and that's what the flag is for. Now I think the option will be, the option will be is that ball there or at the 35. When you go out of bounds and it's deep, the ball comes out to the 35-yard line. But I'm sure they'll just mark the ball when it went out there, which is at the 47-yard line. That's a 12-yard improvement. So yeah. All right, that's why they're going to what they did was they
South will take over.
they had legal touching.
Hayes 49-yard line. First
So
down, 10.
Hayes touched the ball before it went the 10 yards. So it's right there where it was legally touched. Now they had the ball on the Hayes side of the 50. They can just go put this in the end zone. And Justin on a option around to the right, he's going to get down to the 45.
Number 42, Connor Rule. A gain of 4 on the play, second down 6 for the Cougars.
And pick up a nice 4 yards and first down. And this is where the offensive line, this is where they earn their keep, so to speak. Mike Jones trying to dive through. He's going to get down to the 44-yard line. He's going to pick up a only one.
Jones, the Cougar ball carrier.
That'll make it 3rd down and 5.
By number 50, Ethan Dieterding of the Indians. A gain of 1 on the play, 3rd down 5 for Salina South.
Wide receivers have been bringing the plays in. And since Mr. Nachbar's not in, doesn't mean they still won't throw it. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. That was a little bit of a late hit that almost sent Mr. Stonebreaker sliding into the bench.
Pushed out of bounds by number 33, Preston Weigel.
And I'm waiting to see where they're going to spot the ball. They're spotting the ball just outside the 40.
Brings up 4th down 2.
4th down is a short 2. 4th down short 2. And they're going to spread them out. And see if they make them jump. He's trying to give him the jump. And then South's just going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Salina South.
They were trying to get him to into a false start and get a first down on the 5-yard penalty. I wouldn't surprise to see if South just punts the ball away. Doesn't do a little bit of a pooch kick. And pin Hayes deep in their end of the field. You got 4:14 on the clock. They're down 15 points, 49-34. Which means even if they kick an extra point score, if they scored again, they'd have to go for the 2-point conversion to tie. And that's as if they could get the ball back and prevent South from scoring. This is high school football though, folks. Anything can happen. Each team has 2 timeouts left. And of course, a first down stops the clock while they move the chains, get the chain set, then they start it. They're going to go for it in 4th. It was caught. I can't get a number yet.
Stonebreaker's 4th down pass is complete to number 19.
19, Zach Knockbar.
Tackled on the play by number 12.
And that goes all the way down to the 30. So that's a first down. This is what great teams do. When they got a chance to run out the clock, you run out the clock. And if you can run out the clock and put the ball in the end zone, then do it. Points count right now. It's, again, another reverse. And they've got it blocked. They got it blocked. He's still running. Could be down inside the 20. That's going to be enough for a first down. See how
pick up about 13 yards. First down.
Looks like down to the 17-yard line. Wish they were on my end of the field.
Knockbar tackled by number 12.
You got 3:34 in counting. He's looking to throw it. And there's the flag. There's the flag. That defender did the same thing that Mr. Slayton has done for South. He did not turn and make a play on the ball. And it's a no-brainer. And when you interfere, because the wide receiver is trying to adjust to the ball, and you get in his way and you block his way, impede his way to the ball, that's pass interference, folks. Now that happened in the end zone, so let's see if it's half the distance.
Pass interference by the defense. Will it be enforced half the distance to the goal line?
So I thought.
That is short of the first down. Replay first down.
Replay first down, but short of the first. I kind of wish both high school and college would go to what the pros do, that at least I think college does. If it's in the end zone, it goes to the 3-yard line, and it's an automatic first down. The quarterback keeper is going to be down inside the 5, and that's going to be a first down. Nope, he gave it to Ryan Fox. He faked me out there, folks. That was a good fake carry out by Justin Stonebreaker.
Good for a first down for the Cougars. First and goal at the Hayes High Indian 2-yard line.
All right, first down and goal from the 2. I don't expect anything fancy. I'd like to see Ryan Fox get a touchdown. And I believe he just got it.
Touchdown, Cougars.
I believe he just got it.
Number 25.
Yes, he did. Ryan Fox got his touchdown. Dan, Ryan Fox got his touchdown. We're happy now. Fullbacks don't get all the glory that the quarterbacks and the tailbacks do, especially with all the blocking they do. So it's nice to see the fullback get the touchdown. And it's nice his family gets to see it. And that kick is good. So with 3 minutes left to go in the 4th period, you got to score South 56. Great Bend 34.
56. Hayes 34.
Excuse me, Hayes 34. What did I say? Did I say Great Bend?
A couple final scores. Mays 17, Dodge City 14.
Mays beat Dodge City. Not surprising. Mays is a good team this year.
Salina Central 41, Great Bend 14.
Wow, Central, I had to score wrong. Central 41, Great Bend 14, so Central wins. So all Central's got to do next week is beat Hayes at Hayes, and they're into the state playoffs, folks. Well, she's got a lime green, so I can understand why she's seen that lime green blanket. All right. Kevin, nice kick, nice kick. Gonna take down about the 17, 18-yard line. Oops. But he's not gonna get up. He's gonna be short of the 30.
Sounds good right now.
They're gonna put him right over the 30.
You know how it is.
Number 1, Adam Klaus's return.
Sometimes when they cut towards the end inside the field, the guys start to curve in, and when they break back to the outside, they're outside their lane of responsibility, and you can get a big return that way. Remember, folks, don't turn off the TV when the game's over, because we're going to go straight to do a quick post game, and then the band will put on the light show. Then after the light show, we'll have the interview with the coach. And they just handed off to Weigel.
Number 35, Isaiah Blackman, the ball
Oh no,
carrier for Hayes.
they got a new one in.
Tackled on the play
He's
by
a
number
sophomore,
54,
5'9",
Dalton Hartman.
151-pound running back, Isaiah Blackman. So they might have the second string in right
One on the
now.
play, second down, 9.
You're down 22 points with less than 3 minutes on the clock. So I don't know if they have the starters in right now or not. Yep, they know this game's over with. They're going to lose by 22. They know that all they've got to do is go back home and beat Central at home. Well, that's going to be easier said than done. And I hope Central can go out there and come back with a victory next week. That would be great. Great job, Mike Hall, coaches and players. Great job, guys. They're going to hand off, and he's not going to get much anything. And that's going to be 4th down. Here comes the punt team.
Number 35, Isaiah Blackman, the Indian ball carrier. Tackled by number 52, Garrett Mortimer.
I believe when South's offense gets on the field, it will just be a
out to punt for Hayes, number 21, Kiowa.
it will be just
Back deep for
in
the
that
Cougars,
victory
number
formation where the
19,
quarterback would take a
Zach
step down
Marquardt.
and kneel. And Coach Sellers came down and told Justin Stonebreaker something, and I believe that's what they're probably going to do. You don't try to score anymore, don't need to. You're winning by 22.
Timeout. Hayes, that's their second of the half.
Hayes let that run all the way down to the back. Judge was doing his 5-second count and then called a timeout. And I think maybe they're thinking South might try to score again, because again, here in district, points count. The more points you win by, if you would end up tied 2 wins to 1 against somebody, if you got 2 teams at 2-1, then it goes point differential. The South can take care of business by next week beating Great Bend here. And if they do that, then better kick than what he's done before in the past. Much better kick for Hayes. It's going to roll all the way down to about the 15-yard line. So,
Hickton's punt, good for 51 yards.
51-yard punt.
Down at the 15-yard line.
Now,
It'll be
20 some of that was in a
first and
bounce,
10.
but that counts. And the South kids did the right thing. They got away from the ball. Just let it go. You're going to do a victory formation anyways. You're only going to have to do it once. And there you go. There's the victory formation. Mike Jones would be deep in case the ball, for some reason, is snapped between the legs. Now, the officials, if they're smart, because it's a 25-second play clock, will not set the ball till less than 25 seconds on the clock. No reason why to do another snap. Now they'll set the ball.
Will officially be a loss of 1 on the play, second down.
And that will be the game, folks. You got it counting down, and
your final score.
South will go to 6-2.
Salina South, 56.
And here I will announce it at the 0. There you go. There's the buzzer, and you got a final score of Salina South 56, Hayes 34. And that turned out more to be a game what I was thinking was going to be like. South dominating. But Hayes is definitely a good team, and Central's going to have their handful next week at Hayes. But I got faith in Coach Hall and the team that they'll come back with a W. And I will see you at the post-game show.
We'll begin in approximately 10 minutes.
Look at the post-game show. Well, this game turned out the way I kind of figured it would. Start off not like I thought. We were kind of a slow first half, although South went into the lead to halftime with a 21-14 lead. But then they had all kinds of points scored there in the second half. Hayes caught the opening kickoff, tied the game. After that, South just reeled off 3 touchdowns. Then they traded back and forth, ended up with a final score of 56-34. It turned into a dominating offense by South. I know they had got way over, I say over 150 yards more of rushing, but they've got to have close to 250 yards of passing. And I believe Zach Nakbar has got to be close to a little under, right around 200 yards of receiving. Plus, I think he's looking at 3 touchdowns. A tremendous offensive output. South in the second half, when the defense needed to, they stopped, forced some punts, got they always had one touchdown lead, went to the 3 touchdown lead, and that's exactly what they went by, 3 touchdown lead. So you got a Hayes team that's 1-1 going home to host Central that's now 1-1, and the winner of that game will go into the playoffs. All South's got to do is beat Great Bend, that's 0-2, and they're not only they win the district, but they should get a home field advantage for the first game. We won't know until it's all played out. We won't know that till next week. And I will see you at the interview with Coach Sellers. shoes at home, then you could get these shoes out here on the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying in your seats for a very special post-game performance by your Cougar Marching Band. Once again, for your safety, we ask that you please stay in your seats until the conclusion of the light show. Now, please join me as we count down the start of the light show. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Band, lights on. Thank you for attending tonight's game. We appreciate your support. Please have a safe trip home.
Welcome to the post-game show and the post-band light show, which is an awesome show if you get the chance to come watch it. If not, it's going to play 3 times this coming week, so watch the game. I got Zach Nakbar, who is, I believe, has set the record not only for season for touchdown passes, but as it also career. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And Coach Sells and I were discussing, we think you did close to 200 yards worth of receiving tonight, including that incredible 87-yard touchdown pass. Walk us through what the play call, what you did. You broke a tackle right about the 50 when the guy dove for you, and after that it was a foot race.
It was a fade actually, and they told me to get my split in, get to the outside. I got around him, and once I saw the end zone, I just kept going. Didn't let anything stop me.
I think, to me, though, the most impressive touchdown for me tonight was the jump ball right here in this corner. You had a 6-inch difference on the defender, and you blocked him off. You went up. It was Mitch. Mitch did that. Mitch did that. Okay. Hey, go ahead and give it to him. But that was an excellent play by Mr. Roots because he boxed him out and went up. And I talked to Coach Cornelson for the game, and I asked, are you going to roll a safety over onto Zach's side of the ball? He goes, no, I think we can go one-on-one. And I was so tempted to say, Coach Sellers told me they laugh because no one can double-team him all year, and they haven't, and you make them pay.
One-on-one, I love one-on-one because I'll take my chances on that. And they gave us the one-on-one, and we took advantage of it. So.
The thing I like the quick pass that they'll throw out to you, and every single time you have made the first man miss, and you get that yak after yards after catch or yards after contact, but you make the first man miss, and numerous times you've made the second and third man miss, and then you take it into a nice carry afterwards.
Yeah, they always say get to the outside and make the first guy miss, and after that it's just a foot race. So that's what we do. We just get to the outside.
Now, the other thing I've noticed is and I know it because it's been coached forever at South, when you guys are downfield and you don't get the catch, you guys turn into pass blockers. And I've seen it time and time again, you do that. And you had 2 good returns on a reverse, and both of them were set up by your wide receivers on that side setting up the blocking.
Yes, our wide receivers do a real good job at blocking, and when they get the chance to do it, they will. And they will, I guess, succeed at it, at the block. So,
when you're in your wide receiver drills, do you work on that every week?
Yes, we do. Every day.
That's good. That's because catching is one thing, but being able to block downfield and the block downfield that also frees up. Justin Stonebreaker had 2 good runs because of the downfield blocking by the wide receivers.
Our wide receivers sometimes get yelled at by our coaches if we don't have good downfield blocking, and we really stress on downfield blocking because it can turn in from an 8-yard run to an 80-yard touchdown run.
I'll tell you something that I heard the greatest wide receiver of all time in the NFL say. You know who I'm talking about, right? Jerry Rice. I'm going to make sure he was. He said, I like all the yards of touchdown. He goes, but I prided myself on how well I blocked downfield. He said he took more pride in that than any touchdown he ever scored.
Wide receiver is not all about the catches and the yards that you have. It's about blocking and letting the running back. And at wide receiver, it's normally 80% blocking. So in order to be a good wide receiver like Jerry Rice, you got to have good blocking.
And if you look at the difference between him and Randy Moss didn't block downfield to save his life. And that's the difference between the two.
That is definitely the difference between a great wide receiver and just a good wide receiver.
All right, before I let you go and talk with Sam, who's looking at you college-wise?
I have offers from Hutch and Butler. Butler's talking to me. I have Emporia State. A lot more JUCOs than probably anything.
Well, I say what, if you got one from Butler, that's the prize JUCO in the nation right there. And Emporia State, I think they're what, Division I, Division II? They're Division II now. That's not a bad college. I know you're going to be playing somewhere, but the book's still open. You keep doing like this, pretty soon you're going to have more schools calling. So good luck, Zach, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're good, Zach. Well, Coach, you went in 21-14, and I was really hoping you could go into the lead, and you did. You pulled that off. Come out, you kick off, boom, they come right down, tie the game. And I said this is what South's got to do. South needs to take the ball down the field, and then they need to hold them, and they need to go up by more than one score, and they need to put some distance between this and this Hayes team, because this Hayes team can move the ball and can score.
Yeah, they're an explosive team. You know, I thought we came out in the first half a little bit flat. You know, you always worry as a coach. You worry all the time as a coach about everything. But, you know, the last 2 weeks we haven't had school on Thursday and Friday, and you always worry about getting out of the normal routine that they're used to. And you know, we do what we wake them up on days that we don't have games and get them breakfast, and we do a workout in the weight room. But you know, for whatever reason, I thought we came out a little bit flat tonight, and I was disappointed in that. And we had a few words at halftime in the locker room. but you know, other than that first drive, the start of the half, like you said, that Hayes went down and scored. You know, I was really proud of the way we played in the second half. You know, they got a couple more touchdowns on the board, and you know, some penalties and you know, some kind of weird things like that happen. But you know, offensively, I think we were lights out in the second half, and defense, you know, made the stops when we needed to. We shut down the run game, and you know, as much as they like to spread the ball out at times, they're a run team, and with the kids that they have, they can put some big yards up in a hurry, and you know, it's good to get the win, to get the district championship, and it's always nice when you can maybe be a little bit disappointed, but you make mistakes, but you still get the win, so you can learn from them. Right. But it doesn't cost you too much, you know, with the loss. So, you know, overall, I was pleased the way we came out in the second half and took care of business.
You did, and you took what I call the fire hydrant with arms and legs, Mr. Weigel, out of the game. And boy, he is a load to bring down.
Oh, he's a stud. You know, he's the kid that, as a coach, you want him off the bus first, because he's a good-looking dude and fantastic wrestler. You know, a 205-pound kid that runs hard. He's a great football player. You know, it's kind of that smash. I like that smash mouth style of football, and I admire kids like that play as hard as he does and run as hard as he does.
See, we're cut from the same cloth. I love that smash mouth football, because it might be boring, but when you suck that safety in and you suck those linebackers in and pop right over the top you go, and that's what you did. I really do believe Zach went for right about 200 yards, if not a little bit over, and 3 touches. That is an amazing game by this young man.
Yeah, you know, and I thought Justin threw the ball really well tonight, and you know, we had great pass protection, and you know, our offense, when those kids execute like that, is awfully tough to stop, because you force the opposing team to either load the box up to stop your run game, because obviously Mike and Justin are you know, pretty proficient runners, and we normally put up big yards in the ground, but you know, we have the stable wide receivers this year that can go out and make plays, and you know, kind of led by Zach and the big play guy, that if you're going to load the box, you're putting your corners in one-on-one islands, and our kids are going to win those matchups, but then you start worrying about the pass game, and and now we're going to run it all over you. So, you know, as long as we, you know, take care of ourselves, you know, stay out of our own way, and the kids, you know, play like they do, we're an awfully tough offense to stop.
And you weren't a slouch in rushing. I had you a little over 150 yards in rushing. So, but they were giving you the pass, and you took it, and you burned them with it. And that will cause problems for teams down the road. And you got Great Bend coming in next week. And what do you know about Great Bend?
They're offensively, they're a smash mouth team and come at you. And, you know, they've had an up and down year a little bit, and obviously I'm sure they're disappointed in losing tonight. But, you know, I was in that situation that they're in, and when I was a senior in high school, and they're eliminated from the playoffs. They know that next Friday is going to be their last game, and you know, you kind of have that. It's kind of a special. This is a seniors on their team are going to be together. They're going to go out and give us everything they got, and we've got to be ready for it.
And I've always said that's it. And one time I had Kurt up, and he was my stepson. For y'all don't know that, he Coach Sellers knows. We always hated playing Great Bend because they're a tough team. Can be somewhat dirty sometimes. They'll get those 15 yards thrown on them, but they are a tough as nails team to play against. And you know it's always going to be a dogfight when you're on the field with Great Bend.
Absolutely. There's always that Salina Great Bend rivalry, and you know, from little league soccer and you know, football and basketball and all that stuff. It's just, you know, one of those natural geographic rivalries, and you know, it always seems like both teams get ready. There's a little extra energy in the air, and it should be a fun one next Friday.
Now, you say like they're a smash mouth, but do they have the ability to throw the ball and hurt you deep?
I mean, every team has that. You know, you can't just completely abandon your pass coverages and things like that. But you know, they've struggled throwing the ball a little bit this year, and so, you know, I think we'll load the box up and make them hurt us with the pass, and, you know, put our good athletes out there at corner on their guys and lock them up and hope for the best.
All right, one last question. Mr. Duffield got hurt. I couldn't tell if it was a chop block or something, but he immediately went down and had that knee out. Have you heard anything to the severity of it?
I have not. You know, and I think it's two things. I think it's an ankle and a knee, and you know, doctors on the sideline that checked him out didn't think it was really serious, but you really don't know until an MRI is done and those things. You know, Ethan Mitchell in game one, you know, thought he just kind of hyperextended a little bit and didn't swell up or anything, and got the MRI done on Monday, and it was an ACL. So, you know, we're crossing our fingers and hoping he can get back quick and it's not too serious.
Now, he kind of plays a nose, am I correct? And being the big guy, is his responsibility to take up two blockers?
Oh, absolutely. He's our 3 tech on the guard, and yeah, it's, you know, our defensive linemen, you know, are designed to really not get a ton of tackles, and when you have the good ones like we have right now, that they do, but you know, their number one job is to keep their linemen off our linebackers and let our linebackers run around and make tackles. And you know, Jack has been great for us this year at plugging up that middle and you know, demanding double teams every down.
Well, we sure hope that everything comes back fine with him, or he can get back on the field. He is a stuffer down in that middle. Comes out somewhat like you see Don Terry Poe is for the Chief, and he just frees up the linebackers to run to the ball. Folks, this was a heck of a game, and we've got a Great Bend coming in, licking their wounds, and they're not going to want to lose to two Salina teams in the same year. So we really need to come out here, forget about the weather, dress warm, come out and root for this team. We want to go in the team with 3-0 district, and we need a crowd. And those of you for Central got a great win at Great Bend. Now you need to go out and follow them out to Hayes and get a win at Hayes and get them into the playoffs. We'd love to have both these teams in the playoffs. And I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week for Salina Access TV.
Mowry Clinic provides the Salina community with a comprehensive spectrum of services delivered with compassion and sensitivity. We strive to create a partnership with our patients that promotes health and well-being in all phases of life. We care about our patients, we care about providing quality health care services, and we care about our community. Chances are you know many of us because Mowry Clinic physicians live in Salina. We are coaches for youth sports teams and leaders for Boy Scouts and 4-H. We offer time, talent, and financial support to a variety of community events and charities. Our children attend school with your children. Our families attend worship services with your families. And we are proud to call Salina home. We have a vested interest in the success of this community, and we remain committed to an independent practice model that promotes our proud heritage and philosophy to provide quality medical care centered on the relationship between each patient and the physician of their choice. You have a choice for your medical care. Choose a doctor dedicated to the pursuit of excellence in healthcare services. Choose Mowry Clinic.
When I heard the word cancer and that I was the person that had it, my first question to my doctor was, how long have I got? I was diagnosed with stage 1 prostate cancer. There were a lot of concerns that went through my mind, and I visited with my family. It's an emotional deal. I chose to get it out of my body. I wanted that cancer gone. And I asked the doctor, kind of put him on the spot, said, if I was your father, what would you recommend? He said, I'd recommend a radical with the Da Vinci method, the least invasive and the quickest recovery of any that we have available today. I had the surgery performed at Salina Regional Health Center. It's a very safe way to get this done. There were just 5 small incisions, and that was it. I was up and around a few hours after surgery, walking the halls. Within 3 weeks, I was back to doing pretty much whatever I needed to do. Considering everything that was done, it was relatively simple.
The friendly staff at Salina Sports Medicine Orthopedic Clinic, located at 523 South Santa Fe, are always welcoming new patients to serve in the areas of sports medicine, total joint care, and more. You can contact the office at 785-823-7213 or toll free at 1-866-406-4141.